Daryl Vaz did not lie to Jamaica about fake oil news. Sometimes the truth goes deeper than its face value. Two words we often forget are perspective and misconception. I am not an expert in prospecting for oil, but just this is just how I understand it. If I am wrong, I stand to be corrected. When we do not understand how to interpret the issue surrounding a thing, we sometimes end up with the wrong impression of it. Most of us do not most of us do not understand the processes and stages of an oil prospect. We believe that a positive call for drilling means that there is oil. A positive call to invest in the drill simply means to go find it and prove that there is oil. If you can convince someone that the chances are high, someone will take up the challenge. That is the challenge to drill. What you saw in the UK looked like a pitch to convince prospective investors that the chances of finding oil at each drill is as good as 3 to 1. So it will be good for them to invest in the drilling and partner up. And I only said 3 to 1 because the picture went as high as that. While we were listening to that thing, that lady who was pitching, who seemed so very good at it, I think she went as far as 3 to 1, like one chance for every three drill of finding oil, which sounds near certain. Like it's almost certain that oil is there because after three drill, you'll expect to find oil. But it's nearly just speculations, though, right? So even though she goes there, it's speculation. We all know that. I mean, they are very good at this, but I want you to keep in mind the difference between a prospective find and an actual find. We did see the excitement on everyone's face, and these people are good at what they do. As I said, it's a good look. If the ads are so great, it does bring a lot of excitement among investors, as you can see. But that's how enthusiastic those that gamble their millions are when you bring it down to a 3 to 1 probability at every, I mean, when it comes to drilling. A 3 to 1 probability in this case does not even mean that after three drills you are out, like you are going to drill three times and then after that you are out. No, you have a whole entire area, like they are saying it's from Port Morant now to maybe Negril Point or some Saint Elizabeth or somewhere like that. But it's a huge area, so it's not just three drills. There are so many places to drill, you know. But they mapped out the place. Their job was to they mapped out the place. Their job was to map out the place and then bring in the person that drills to partner up. So the sooner, I mean, I was if if you are drilling, the sooner you score, the less you have to invest. But you know what happens if you draw nil every time. The fact that the prospect seems very high is no guarantee that Isle will come up to the drill anyway. United Island Gas did the groundwork and marked out the area where oil is more likely to be found. They did the groundwork to mark out all of that stretch from Morant Point to the other end of the island. They invested their share. The drillers are now needed to do their part. Another good sign is the suggestion that it will not take too much investment to hit pay dirt. It is another reason why investors will be so excited or as excited as they looked in the video because I saw the video I I saw the video. They were in the UK, I think, and and I understand why people think that Mr. Vaz was lying even after watching the video. When you do a pitch for an investor, the investor must feel and taste oil so bad that he is ready to take the risk. You have to convince him that it is a good gamble. What we saw at that function was a woman who had superior skills pitching, and every Jamaican in Jamaica literally felt the oil on their fingers and toes, like wading and bathing in black gold, seeing the bright future of Jamaica, oil and gas, living the dream. Oil is found, but no, no oil yet. The possibility that oil is there is quite high. The possibility that Kishan Thompson would win the 100 meters Olympic finals was very high, but it did not mean 100%, did it? Hello, my people. Skywalker here. I love to sit in the darkness and see the light. I see something that I find interesting to speak about. I see the people bashing Daryl Vaz for being wrong, although he is right. People, if you get anything out of this video, hit the thumbs up button. You can also subscribe to keep up with the reasoning. For months, there has been a story going around in Jamaica on social media that oil was found. In fact, the number of barrels that people were quoting made it sound like the mother lode actually on the level of Guyana. That find in Guyana, it was on that level according to how people were talking. It was convincing, especially when we are actually watching influential people, including the big man of Petrojam, discussing the oil and talking about the investment or about investing in it. To be fair, you can understand why some people would have why these people would have misinterpreted the meaning of the meeting and the words used in the discussions in the UK. People that do not understand the stages and the terminologies might go away believing that it was a final judgment when it was only a pitch for a drilling investor to actually find the oil. And then, with all that evidence to prove the oil find, Daryl Vaz came out and declared that it was fake news. How impossible is that? It is not impossible. Although we saw all the evidence and we saw that meeting in the UK with United Island Gas and other influential stakeholders, including our own ambassadors, actually talking about the wonderful opportunity and the motherload of oil. Daryl Vaz said categorically that no oil was found. If he was actually lying, that lie would be a big one. It would remind us of the man who was offloading his colon in the woods and someone came and caught him. He said that was not what he was doing. But the truth was under where he sat. Because he sat on what he was doing. But the truth was under where he sat. So people are ready to force him to stand up and prove it. Daryl Vaz is in a position to stand up and prove it because, as miraculous as it sounds, he is actually telling the truth. I saw a video that put forward very strong evidence to prove that Daryl Vaz was lying to Jamaica when he announced that he did not know of and there were no oil finds in Jamaica. Although I can see where he was meaning his statement, the fact is that he was correct. The language he used about fake news was more unfortunate than helpful. It is more of a misconception than anything else, and he didn't treat it that way. People who watch that video will not believe that I am going crazy because I saw the same evidence they did. Yes, I saw all that evidence, and even if Daryl Vaz was in Europe at that meeting with United Island Gas, he would still be telling the truth that he doesn't know of and as far as he knows, no oil was found in Jamaica. Am I impossible? Can two things be true? Why am I contradicting the obvious? Maybe we must realize that a paradox will sometimes trick those who are unaware into perceiving it as a contradiction when it is not. Let's talk about the evidence first. What you thought you saw or heard, and what you really saw and heard. You saw United Isle along with Jamaican government stakeholders in the UK on a forum to pitch for an investor. Why would United Island Gas need an investor when they are already the investor? United Isle and Gas were the initial investors that partnered with Jamaica to prospect for oil. They use their technologies to see what the geological conditions are like and what are the probabilities of an oil find. What they find was positive. What they found was positive, and very much so. In fact, they could compare the geological conditions to that of Guyana, and they calculate that the possibilities of oil per drill was down to as much as or as little as 3 to 1, which is very good. Very, very good. They use their technology to estimate how much barrels of oil would be possible or likely. All those figures you hear are calculations. Now it is time to actually find a driller who will invest in finding the oil that they believe is a 3 to 1 possibility at every drill. This is to say that most likely, after a certain amount of drills, at least it is expected that oil will be found. The drillers are not United Island Gas. The prospective drillers were those people that seemed so excited at the end of the presentation. They were the ones being pitched to in a bid to make them invest their own millions in the drill. This way, United Oil and Gas will not have to foot all the bills, and Jamaica does not have the money to gamble. You see, there is no way to, or there is no way the checks that United Oil and Gas do can guarantee the oil find. What guarantees the oil find is when the drill brings up the actual oil. So if you will speculate, it would be fairly safe to say that there is some amount of oil in Jamaica, and you could be more than half sure that it would be a mother load down there. However, you cannot be sure until you find the oil. That's when it's actually confirmed. So there is that first stage where the first partner who will own or run the business comes in to prospect for the aisle. Then the second phase is if he sees the aisle and believe that the chances are high enough to try for a drill, he will either drill himself or look for a drill partner. What you saw was a pitch for a drill partner. However, there is no way to say that there is oil if it does not come upon the drill then. So we all believe that a mother load of oil is down there. But when we prove it, if we prove it, then we can talk. Daryl Vaz say him no know nothing about no oil. But I think he does know why people misinterpret the situation. He is just being mean, dropping blunts and not bringing any clarity to the situation. Peace out.